Hi everybody, Angel here. Hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Mariquita. And Mariquita is a vegan empowerment coach. So I'm super excited to speak with her today. And we'll get started very soon. If you're not already following Mariquita, please follow her. And her page is posted here, Mariquita _Solis_coach. So you can find her there and check out the links in her bio as well. And you can go ahead and follow the link in my bio for lots of information as well. So let's see. Let's get started. Hope you all are doing great wherever you are in the world. Hi there.
Oh my gosh, hi. I don't see myself. Let me see here.
Your camera. There you are. How are
All right,
you?
I'm doing well. I've never done this on Instagram. Can you tell?
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. A lot of people I speak with have never done it before. So you're doing great. You're here.
I'm here. I made it. You're right. I'm glad. Thanks. My face is turning red. I usually don't get that, so you're special.
There we go. I make I'm making you blush. Everyone's making you blush today. This is good. Well, Mariquita, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I know everybody is super busy. And so I want to thank you so much. You have such a powerful portfolio that we're going to talk about soon. And I want to thank everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. And also, as we go along, please put your questions and comments down below for Mariquita, and she'll be happy to answer either during the live or after, however that kind of flows. So Mariquita, we have a lot to go through, and the little scribbles on the bottom are just my little notes to keep me on track. And so I'm just going to jump right in and ask you my first question for you, which is, could you please share with us your vegan journey, how you started and how you ended up to where you are today, please?
Well, it started when I was in 95. My brother said, "Why don't you watch this video? It's called Meet Your Meat." And I thought, okay, well, I'll take a look. He had been pretty shocked by it. And I had, in college, my friend had presented vegetarian eating or saying he was going to be a vegetarian. I thought he was crazy. I was like, "What's going to happen to you? You're going to be all pale
Oh,
and
really?
feel hard." Yeah. So, so anyway, I agreed to watch this 3-minute thing by Alec Baldwin, and I was horrified at what I saw, and I still see some of those images, but I make a choice to let go of those images because I've done so much inner work that I can move past them, and take action. So anyway, yeah, that really I felt like it traumatized me, and so I immediately became vegetarian, and down the road I became vegan, and then there were some slips, and then I went back to vegetarian, but then I went back to vegan, and which I really love. I always feel great when I'm vegan and eating plant-based diet and beans and chickpeas, and yeah, so it's been a journey, for
Yeah.
me saying, why in the hell are you doing that, you crazy kook, you know
Well,
here I am later these days. Now I'm like, wait a minute, what? That person back in those days didn't get it.
yeah. Yeah.
But I get it now. So yeah, she was different. She was young and she didn't understand. So
Yeah, well, I want to applaud your brother for suggesting that you watch that video. I have heard about the video. I haven't watched it yet, but I will put it on my list. I've watched some of the other ones that are super hard to watch. And I have heard several people say that, these videos just turn them. And I have to say, like, although I was calling myself vegan, especially in my first year, my year plus, It wasn't really until I saw those very difficult videos about what happens to the animals that I told myself there's no turning back. Because
Right.
you know, when we think of this as only a diet, it can be easier for us to make exceptions. I know I was doing that in my first year plus. If I was, for example, running through an airport and there were no vegan options and there was a vegetarian option, which I was for 20 plus years before going vegan, I was vegetarian slash pescatarian, and I was in my own little bubble. And you know, in the first year plus, a few times a year, I would make that exception. And then when I saw the videos, I thought, no way. I mean, there's just no, for me personally, there's just no exception. Like, I don't want to cross that line because I know what the cost was, you know, to other beings. And so, and then I started to follow like sanctuaries, and I was like, oh my gosh, they all have their own personalities. They're so unique. Oh my gosh, no, I can't do this. It's just no way I could ever, you know, turn back. So I want to applaud your brother, and I'm just so interested to know how on earth he found that video, you know, way back when and everything. But yeah, I'm so happy that it had the impact that it had, because if not, then you wouldn't be doing what you're doing today. But before we get to what you're doing today, can you tell us a bit more, please, about some of the changes that you have experienced over the years, you know, on your vegan diet and lifestyle? Is there anything that stands out for you that you want to share?
Well, I think in the beginning it was really about the animals, and then I grew to understand how much it impacted the environment, and I mean the whole scheme of it. You know, this whole connectedness of everything, and it's really powerful to know that. I mean, it just pulls back everything that I'm pulling in with my coaching, right? Is that we're all connected, and that what we eat is connected to everything, not just the animals, but the planet, to our health, and everything. So I know that's been a journey too. Some people start out with plants, you know, wanting plant-based eating, and then they
Yes.
learn more about animals, and
Yeah.
you know, nobody is wrong on this path. I mean, no one's path is wrong, right?
Right, right. No, I agree with you, because although I was calling myself vegan at the beginning, I was probably plant-based because I didn't understand that this involved a whole lifestyle of clothing, skincare, furnishings, entertainment, travel, everything, you know? Like
Right.
I really didn't understand it. Now, luckily for me, I'm a person who likes to read labels. So when I was shopping for like beauty products at the beginning, I discovered that there was like a vegan label. I was like, what? There's a vegan label? What? Okay, I got to figure this out. And so that's how I understood that this was, well, that was a part of how I understood that this was more than what I was eating, but it was like the full spectrum of everything. So I agree with you. You know, it is a journey. And at the beginning, for me as well, I did it, you know, for my health. I thought, well, you know, I you know, lactose intolerant, like 2/3 of the global human population. And, you know, fish is toxic. So I was giving that up. And eggs, you know, made my stomach do somersaults. So I was like, yeah, you know, so for me, it was really more of a dietary choice over the years until I started to, you know, identify as a vegan, I guess. So yeah, it does take a while. So that takes us into your coaching. I do want to say hi to everybody who's joining. Please put your questions and comments down below for Mariquita, and she'll be happy to answer. And also, please let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always cool to know where people are tuning in from. So that would be nice as well. So, Mariquita, back to your coaching, please. Tell us, what type of coaching approach do you have in the services that you offer, please?
Well, I see what the big blocks are, and how to overcome the blocks. I think what someone thinks about themselves, what they think about other people, what fate is in the world. So a lot of times, the people that I coach are really struggling with acceptance of others. Um, so they're feeling like they're really in lack, like I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. Why didn't I change sooner? What was wrong with me? Like, and this guilt that they're feeling. So really getting past that. So if they believe that, I'm not doing enough every day, it's not enough. I'm not enough, right? I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. So that's the life I'm creating. And then and the people aren't changing. I'm not changing enough people. So I'm angry at those people, right? What in the heck is wrong with these people? They're not understanding, and I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to say, don't you care about the animals? Or don't you care about the planet? And they're just like, leave me alone. Okay? So then you go home. You think, oh my gosh, this world is a horrible place. All these horrible people are destroying the earth. They don't care. They're awful. And I don't want to be around them. So now I'm going to isolate myself and hate. So if you're living in that toxicity every day, and your life is so sad, it's just really it's not going to be anywhere close to thriving, but you're isolating and hurt. So it's shifting, like knowing that I'm over here, knowing that you're over there, and we're all working together, and all sorts of people are in this world. For animals, working for the planet. So I wake up and I think, oh wow, you know what? I'm doing a great job. I'm just being alive is doing a great job. Because I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to choose foods that are in alignment with healing this planet and healing myself. And then I'm going to go out there and do everything I can, be a good role model for veganism. I'm going to be a happy vegan that's shining her light, right? I'm not going to be a vegan that's angry at the world. I'm going to be someone that people are going to say, hey, why are you so happy? Or what's going on in your life? What does she have, right? That's who I want. What does she got? I want it too. So so I'm going to be that shining example. I'm going to come home, I'm going to celebrate, and then I'm going to know that I'm not alone because Angel's over there doing her thing, right? And I don't see the people as bad people. I see them as people that were like me, just not awakened, right? We are so brainwashed in society to believe that we have to eat meat. And so it's not just about our plate. It's about the whole, because what if, the family dynamic, what we're going to have to present to our families now, okay, I don't eat meat anymore. And they're going to say, what do you mean you don't eat meat? What's going on? They're going to, and so it's not just a one element here. This is a big thing for all. Our parents raised us, many of us raised us to eat meat. So then there's some pushback on that. Then maybe the parents feel like, did I do a bad job as a parent? And then and then parents hearing the belief, about me eating that I don't want my child to be healthy. So you can't do that. Are you kidding? So it's not just about the diet. There's a lot of things going on when we say to someone else that, hey, become vegan. This is breaking this lifelong pattern. And if we're wanting someone to break it like that, then we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. And well, now I've lost where I was going, but it's that shift of allowing people to be who they are, knowing that we can have a conversation and we don't have an expectation or agenda. We plant a seed and we let it go. We don't scream at the seed to hurry up and grow. I want you to sprout right now, and if you don't, I'm gonna stomp you to death. Right?
That's a good point.
Right? No. We're going to just plant the seed, and then maybe you think that they didn't care, they didn't hear, and that we don't know really what happened inside. Maybe 2 years later, that person is going to come back and say, hey, my mom is sick. She's got heart disease, and you were telling me about the plant-based eating or the vegan eating that you're doing, and I'd like to know more about that now. But if we cut ties with that person, then forget it. And you never know what they're hearing. It's all the little experiences that are adding up to the change, because your brain, first of all, your brain has to be in a safe place to allow for change. And if someone's screaming at you or making you feel bad, shaming you, putting you down, making you defensive, then there's not going to be any change. So it's got to be a loving place for change to develop. and to grow. The process of growth is it's different from everyone, and to allow that.
Oh my gosh. I can, relate to so much of what you were saying, Marikita, and I'll get a little bit into that, but um you mentioned the seed, for example, and I've come to start to think of it as not only planting the seed, in addition, it's watering the seed, it's putting some sunshine on the seed, it's nurturing the soil, it's rotating the plant. It's just a whole journey as well in terms of sharing with others and trying to inspire others and educate others in a compassionate way. I struggle a lot with what you were saying. I have to be honest, because I think I knew it, but hearing you say it out loud made me a little bit uneasy. I'm going to be honest with you, because I have been frustrated with some people in my inner circle who are a little bit wobbly, and who seem to be on board, and then they're not on board, and I'm like, how did this happen? Like, I thought, like you said, I thought I was being a really good role model for them. These are people who've
Uh-huh.
known me like forever, and but at the same time, it's so nice to hear that they are going plant forward, and they are putting more plants on their plate, as some people would say. And they are becoming more enlightened and awakened and informed and motivated and they're feeling so many benefits just in their own bodies and their own energy. But like you're saying, it is a struggle. And so, I mean, what do you tell your clients? And I know we're going to get into your Facebook group as well. What do you tell others about, like, for example, being patient? For example, I'll give you another example. So I'm single, everybody, and so I'm looking for a vegan man. So if you're a vegan man out there, contact me. Um, and I personally have decided not to really entertain a man who is not vegan at this point in my life. Like, if I were younger, I would probably do it. But at this point, in midlife, I'm like, no, I really just want a vegan man. That's it. And I'm in some Facebook dating groups. So if you're single out there and you're vegan, go over to those vegan singles groups and meet some people. And what has been shocking to me is that some of the young people are struggling with dating people who are not vegan, and they're very, very frustrated, which goes back to what you were saying, Marikita. And this is like a topic, of conversation in the chat. And so someone recently brought up the following, and this is not the first time I've heard it, but I want to hear what you have to say on this. Someone said, well, most of us were not born vegan. Most of us were not always vegan. So we do need to be open-minded and compassionate towards others, etc. At the same time, for example, I'm in my Instagram posts these days, I'm talking about myths, and one of them will probably be like, plants have feelings, so why are you eating plants? I mean, animals have feelings and plants have feelings, so why don't you refrain from eating plants then? And so, we as vegans sometimes get frustrated because these arguments are just roadblocks. They're just to be evasive sometimes, or maybe people really think that. I think some people really, really, really feel that, and I understand that. So what do you say to those of us who are a little bit frustrated or impatient or confused? What do you say?
Well, I say that, okay, so change is a process. And knowing where people are on the stages of change is crucial. Like you were talking about the soil, right? Of the plant. So the seed plant, what is the soil you're planting in it, right? I mean, some soil is more receptive, and say that if you're speaking to a vegetarian, they're more likely to hear you, right? If you're speaking to someone that's, I mean, maybe they're that just loves McDonald's every day. And so he might not be ready. Maybe down the road, he might be going to investigate other stuff, other ways of eating. And then on the stages, he might be more open to it. So it's about when we're speaking to people, looking at everything, what they're saying, the body language, and then evaluating. Am I getting some pushback? Because if they're pushing back, the worst thing that we can do is to push, because it's going to be counterproductive. Once they feel threatened, that's going to shut down the safety, and they have to feel safe in order to change. Once we make them feel guilty, threatened, or they have to defend themselves, forget it. We're just doing the opposite of what we want to do. So going back to just starting off with passion, like Earth said, he knows he's going out there just to talk, no agenda, no outcome, and allowing people the same gift that I had come to my own decision. When people come to their own decision, they're going to not be that for them. So going out into the world every day, start with a mantra. I would start with, like, today I allow people to have this respect that people give me. The agents that showed me the way, they didn't. If they had, I wouldn't have done it. So I allow people there to be in their own process. I am happy that I don't control people because if I did, I would never get any sleep. I had to control everyone and what I did. So doing that, I allow people to live in respectfulness, and I'm thankful that they respect me. This is going to be a day of discovery for me and for other people. I'm going to allow them to discover, and I'm not going to go and call them tomorrow and say, okay, what'd you discover? No, I'm just going to be happy the next time I see them, and let the process of life unfold, right? The discovery of life. So you never know. The brain connects the dots, for you don't ever know when someone's brain can connect the dots. Animal. But what I really try to do is on my Facebook page, I don't want to isolate my friends. So I don't post anything graphic. I don't say anything like be a vegan, but I do post about healthy foods. I post about animals, right? You look at this beautiful animal. I don't say anything. I want them to see the animal not as just, as like a product, but I try to post things that show that the animal has a soul, as a living being. So the more I do that, the more people are seeing it, and that's the way to go about it. If they can connect with their heart to that animal, without someone shoving it down their throat, but they see it and read it, that's the key, because but for different people, it's different things. If they connect dots with the health and maybe lowering cholesterol, heart disease, if you see those posts without screaming at them, like, why are you eating all those McDonald's, and make feel horrible, if they connected themselves, then that's the way to do it, and that way people stay on my page. I don't want to isolate. Like I said, if I started posting stuff about slaughtered animals, what's going to happen? They're going to stop seeing my posts, and that's not what I want. I want them to see that I'm living in joy, and what I'm curious. People are always curious when I bring food to functions. They want to taste it, like, because they love it too. I'm sure you had the same experiences, where they love tasting this food, and first they think, no, but then once they try it, and that's just little watering seeds like you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I started to post recipes on some of my social media pages because I keep hearing that people don't know what to eat. And I know it's not only about diet. However, for a lot of people, the first thing that comes to mind is what they're going to eat. Not necessarily which beauty product they're going to buy, or, are they going to go to a zoo or not? So I've really been posting like more recipes to show others that there's some other options out there. There are alternatives, and not just what we grew up with, or not just what we see in mainstream media. And I've noticed that those posts have gotten some attention. The other thing too, that you were saying, I attended a vegan climate event on the weekend and a online virtual. We're in a virtual world here, and this particular vegan activist is out in New Zealand, and she was saying that the way that she became vegan was she had a friend on social media who was posting a lot about, some of the horrific images of animals, like you were saying. And she was saying that she wanted to like unfriend this person because she was just like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. And then one time, her friend posted like a petition for people to sign. And this person who is now, basically running a global vegan activism organization after all these years, she went and signed the petition and saw a pig. And she identified with the pig, and she felt some compassion for the pig based on what was going on in the petition. And at that point, she became vegetarian, as far as I know. And so, yeah, it did take her some time after that, I think, to cross over to vegan. Once she understood, for example, for a lot of us, just like myself, dairy and eggs, it's not clear what's happening in those industries either. Um, Now, I went vegetarian, pescatarian for health reasons. I was not aware of any of the animal cruelty at that time. But for some people, they go vegetarian because of animal cruelty, because it's more visible. Let's say what we call the meat industry, but it's not very clear all the time what's happening in the dairy and egg industry. So it's just an example to validate and confirm what you're saying, Mariquita, that for some people, it really is a turnoff, basically, to see, the images of the animal suffering. And sometimes, like, I'm taking multiple approaches, to be quite frank with you. So
Yeah, no,
it's
no,
just,
I agree. I mean, do what feels right to you, right?
yeah, yeah. So that's kind of been my approach. So tell us, please, a bit about your Facebook group. So I've joined your Facebook group. I need to catch up on the content in that group. I want to first of all congratulate you, applaud you for, number one, creating the group. Number two, for actually getting members in the group who are actually like reacting to your posts, because I been in other groups where the engagement is just quite kind of like, I don't know where it is, in the twilight zone or something, I don't know. So I really want to applaud you for that, and I also want to applaud you because I've looked at some of the articles that you posted. Again, I need to catch up, but you are giving such practical suggestions and practical data in your posts. And of course, it's a safe space. So anyway, tell us, please, what should everybody know about your Facebook group?
Well, my Facebook group is Empowered Vegans Voices of Strength for Mother Earth. My Facebook group is very positive, no graphic, no pictures, no descriptions. I mean, we all know what's happening, and so I want my group to be a safe place where we're supporting each other. I mean, I've seen so many groups where people go on rants about hating other people, and then it's just fueling the hate, and that's problem focused. So my group is not about problem focused. My group is about solution focused. If there's an issue, let me know, and then let's work it out, right? I've got speakers every Thursday at 1 o'clock coming in to answer questions, to give their own stories, and you're going to be one of them, so I'm excited about that.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
telling how to live in peace, how to sleep in peace. I mean, what has worked um, for the guests on their vegan journey, and what about, tell us about your business, and what it's like, your experience of being a vegan. And because I want the members of my group to see that it's possible to live in peace, right? that respectfulness is possible and peacefulness is possible and sleeping and you don't have to cut off family members. You don't have to walk away from friends. You still can maintain friendships. I had a beautiful older lady from my church, and doesn't have friends. We've been talking, and she invited us over yesterday. She knows I'm a vegan, and I didn't say much about it. You know, she knows what I do, coach vegans. And so I went over there, and she had some vegan muffins that she had bought for me. She got some treats for my little dog. And yeah, she's so sweet. And she said, telling me about vegan the Italian sausage she saw, and she said, the next time you come over, I'm going to cook you some Italian sausage, some vegan. So that's the way it was. You know, I didn't plant seeds. I just was me, and I did say I was vegan, but that was it. I never did anything else to her. You know, me and her love, you know, her wanting to be kind to me is going to open her up to the new experience. She said, now I'm seeing everything that's vegan. It's everywhere.
I love that. I mean, that is what you were talking about at the top of the hour of being that example. This reminds me of when I used to go to the smoothie bar before the world did what it did 2 years ago. I used to go to a smoothie bar and I would order these different smoothies. And one time someone came up and said, I want what she's having, because, because it was like, I don't know. She said, I just, something about, how I looked and how I was enjoying it and how everything. And I was like, it just kind of surprised me because I didn't really quite realize that people were observing me, like my behavior and my energy and my vibrations and everything. And so it was really cool, when she said, yeah, I want what she's having. And so I think it connects to, your example, your shining light of representing this lifestyle. And I am just so grateful that this person is showing you that compassion and that respect and that love to, want to please you. And like you said, now her whole world is opening up because now she's more aware. Oh my gosh, vegan. So I super love that. I really do.
I know it's beautiful, and I love what you're saying because you are doing exactly what I'm telling people. Like, you can be an attractant or you can be a repellent, right? If we're standing over mad because, let's say we went to a party and they didn't have any vegan food, well, realize these people don't think like that, you know? And so if we're going to a party, the best thing we can do is bring some cupcakes or bring something, right? And share. Let the person know that's having the party, you know what, I'm vegan, but I want to bring something. Right? And so that's a great opportunity. And that's an attractant again, like I was saying, attractant or repellent. Be the attractant. We don't want to push people away by being angry and saying, well, those blankety blanks, they didn't have anything for me. Okay, take responsibility for yourself. Right? I know I'm a vegan, and I know a lot of the world isn't going to accommodate me whether I'm a vegan or not. Right? The world is not it's not all about me. I need to be responsible for myself. Right? And
Yeah.
take the ego out of it. The ego is playing such a big hindrance in the way we communicate because people get angry. Like, I mean, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about doing what's best for the planet. And how do you present yourself in a way the best for the planet? And that's through love, through respect, and through the foundation of power. Because that's what I teach my clients. We're not beggars. We're not begging anybody, and we're not cussing them out. We're coming from a place of power and confidence in ourselves, right? We know we're living the right way in alignment. We're responsible for ourselves, and we let other people be responsible for themselves, right? And so we don't have to beat ourselves up, and we don't have to beg or cuss anybody out. Like I said, we have to live in a beautiful, loving space because that's what a vegan is to me. It's about love. Veganism is about love, and it's not just about love to the vegans. It's about love to the entire planet. The more the entire planet feels loved, the more the greater shift we'll create.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful because I think some people feel that vegans are compassionate towards animals and not very compassionate towards humans who are not yet vegan. I've heard this word pre-vegan or pregans, because I personally feel that we are naturally vegan. I personally feel that way. I personally feel like um, it's really like all the marketing and advertising and the big business and everything that kind of turned us the other way, in my opinion. And so it's really cool, and I wish that others who are out there, for example, on vegan Twitter, for example, there's so many complaints. Basically all they had was a salad, and do they
Oh,
think
yeah.
that vegans only eat salads and this and that, and oh my gosh, I'm going to this event, or oh my gosh, I went to this event and they didn't have anything. And like you said, I really love your approach. You're saying, well, let's turn the coin over and look at it as an opportunity. And I have heard so many people say that when they take vegan dishes to gatherings, everyone gobbles up the dishes. I mean, it's like they disappear. And so some vegans have said that they take extra because sometimes I guess at the beginning, maybe they were thinking, oh yeah, I'm doing this for me. And then everybody else is like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And they want to eat it. And so now, a lot of people realize they need to take extra because their dishes are so popular.
That's so true. And it's an opportunity to shine. Think of this. Oh, this is my opportunity to be in the spotlight. And, you don't even have to force it down their throats. It's vegan. Just if they know you're vegan, it can be very casual, right? And I know that my friends knew that I was back. It was oh my gosh, about at least 10 years ago, vegan. And so I took a pie to work, and I just left it there. I didn't say anything. It was a chocolate pie, and people were eating it like crazy. And this is young teenage boys, and they were asking for more. And then they realized it was my pie, and they never connected the dots. And I was at the end, I said, well, that was a chocolate tofu pie. It was good. It was amazing. It's very easy to do that. I mean, take chocolate, peanut butter, and that really, what's that called? That tofu that's really silken. Um, Not the firm tofu, the really soft tofu, and put it in
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
blender.
The silky, yeah.
Yeah, and throw it in the fridge. Man, it's so good. I mean, and how hard is that? And people love it. They don't know the difference. So it's easy. Like
Yeah.
I said, this is a time for you to shine. Get the best recipe that you have and make it and share it to the world. And be proud of yourself and celebrate. We don't celebrate enough, like you're saying, people about the compassion. They don't have like compassion for the animals, compassion for the non-vegans, compassion for yourself, right? Bring that compassion on for yourself to, really celebrate, because we're forgetting. We're thinking, oh, not enough, not enough, not enough. But every moment of the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, celebrate. Yes, yes, there's one for the animals. There's one for the animals. There's one for the animals, right? Every time you go to the store, there's another one. So we can be
It's true.
celebrating all day long.
Yeah, and there's so many more plant-based vegan options nowadays compared to even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even compared to 1 year ago, quite frankly. And I really love that. And something you said earlier too, like having that mantra, it's super powerful. And I met a woman 2 years ago who is a raw vegan, and she said that when she first went raw vegan, she would actually like have an affirmation, and she would say to herself basically daily, I am raw vegan. And that kept her on track, that kept her, on her journey. And now she's like a global sensation. And only a few years later, quite frankly. And so it's very, very powerful what you're saying, in terms of like how we can, I don't know if you want to call it like psych ourselves up or whatever, but I do think that it's very empowering, these examples that you're giving. And I am taking notes here. I am taking
You're
notes.
right. I mean, what you just said was right. I mean, because when we get up in the morning, if we say if we say, wow, this is going to be a great day, then our brain starts to, really back that up. Our brain focuses on that. So whatever we start off with, our brain's going to try to prove it. I mean, I remember reading a book, and I can't remember right now just because I'm on here, but about a man that was trapped in a refrigeration truck. And he couldn't get out, right? Or a freezer. It was a freezer, one of those trucks, right? And he was, and they found him dead the next morning. Okay, so they went in, and it turned out that the truck wasn't even on. The freezer wasn't on. It was in his mind that he believed. The biology of belief, like Bruce Lipton says, is so powerful, right? Your mind, this is it. This is where we can shift, right? He died because he believed that freezer was on when it wasn't. So just like the lady was saying, I'm a raw vegan, right? Or I live in joy with the world, and I'm here to shine, right? Say it, and then go out to the world and say it. The more you say it, it's causing the physical pattern in your brain. You're laying that over and over and over, those pathways in your brain. So you've got the power to do it. And there are more stories, like I said, and it's fascinating how much power that our brains have, and we're just not tapping into it.
Yeah, and you're reminding me of like limiting beliefs, because I'm thinking that what you are doing, like with your empowerment coaching, it's also very effective for reversing those limiting beliefs. So for example, as you were saying earlier, like let's say a person says, oh my gosh, nobody else is gonna go vegan, or none of my friends are gonna ever go vegan, or I'm wasting my time, or da da da, whatever the limiting belief is. And what you're coaching people to do is to just turn that on its head and say, no, the total opposite. And also what I love too, because I'm picking up what you're laying down too, like, not to have such an attachment to the outcome. A lot of times, and I know I went through this earlier in my journey, having an attachment to the outcome and feeling like, oh my gosh, 1 + 1 = 2. And if I do this, and so if I do this and this, then it should equate to that. And that's not always how it's going to be, like you're saying.
No, that's the masculine energy, right? That's great for engineering. It's great for architects, but this is not that. This is not a masculine energy. This is not a linear process. This is a feminine energy about discovery, right? And planting the seeds, watering the seeds every day, allowing them to have each experience. And then when the brain hits, the brain's going to connect the dots. There's also another great video on YouTube, and I recommend that everyone look it up. It's called The Backward Brain Bicycle. And this guy, they have a bike, and it's backwards. So you think that you're just going to jump on the bike and you're going to turn the opposite way. And you're going to be able to ride very easily. You just concentrate and do it. But it's not like that. Your brain is so in those patterns of thinking, and that you watch the video and see how it all plays out. But that's the same thing with the people that are eating meat. They're in those patterns, and so programmed, like Bruce Lipton says, the first 7 years are what we took in, and we're running on that program. They're running on the meat eating program, and they just aren't somewhere. New opportunities come for them to see a new idea, and they might take it in. So maybe the door opens a little bit more, maybe they hear something the next day, opening, and where are they on the readiness to change? That's what you've got to see. If their door is closed, don't push them, respect it, and just allow them, because maybe next year they're going to be open to change, and that's the time to speak. And they'll let you know. That you'll know when they're ready, because they're going to be asking questions. When somebody's ready, you can't stop them from asking questions.
I love that door. I love that door imagery and analogy. And I have heard many times, confirming again what you're saying, that people, that you think it fell on deaf ears. And the next thing you know, X amount of time later, they're coming back. Hey, you know what? do you have any recipes for me? Hey, can you tell me a little bit more about such and such? You know, and
Right.
actually, this happened to me with some people in my inner circle, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that they were paying attention. You know, and so you're so right. So, Mariquita, we're gonna I'm gonna let you go soon, but I have a couple more questions for you if you have the time. And that is, you've given us a lot of tips, for some difficult conversations. Is there anything else, in terms of like tips for new vegans? I think, as a person has been vegan for some time, it might get easier and we kind of ease up, we kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit, if you will. I think at the beginning we are like pedal to the metal, I got to get this going. Zoom, zoom, zoom down this highway. It's urgent. Everything is urgent. I know I felt it. I have
Yeah.
to tell you this. And I think we do kind of ease up off of the gas pedal a bit and kind of, slow it down. And I love that feminine energy. It's like going with the flow, that water energy that, very forgiving and like the mother energy, and I know that goes back even to your Facebook group. Oh my gosh, I'm just like feeling that connection, even like with the word mother in your Facebook group title. So is there anything else you would say to new vegans in particular, as they go through these very difficult conversations?
Well, I would say that if it feels difficult, then that's the sign, right? Listen to your body, right? If you're feeling that, if you're tensing up because they're feeling like that also, you're going to know it. If we're having a conversation and you said something and I felt like, oh, I would know, okay, I think I need to go, right? So that's the sign to stop, to get off that gas and send them love and even to apologize, right? Our goal is to connect, right? If they say it's hard to be vegan, don't say no, it's not. Say, have empathy for them. For me, I can say, yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought, oh my gosh, it did take me a while. It was hard for me in the beginning. It's very easy to write people off and to say, you don't know what you're talking about. Have empathy. If you can connect with their heart, that's when the shift will be. And you don't have to go through all the facts. Tell them that heartfelt story that changed your life without any agenda, without expecting them to change, just like you were just sharing a story about, from your childhood. No expectations, but it was here in your heart. That's when people change. When they want, they feel that love and connection.
That's beautiful. Oh my God. You are just wrapping up so many elements and concepts and energies in this. Oh my gosh, I love this. So, Mariquita, tell us, please, do you have any future projects or services or anything, coming up that you want to mention at this time by chance?
Well, I'm putting together group coaching. I'm looking into that because I see that so many vegans are feeling isolated, and group coaching really will help them come together and we can talk about these issues in a powerful, supportive space. I'm doing the one-on-one coaching, which is it's a high-touch 3-month coaching program. I'm right there to hold you, keep you on track, to make sure you're in that powerful mindset and you're not going back to that beggar mindset and that lack mindset of saying, well, it's not working. That's the lack mindset, right? But you need to check in with me if you need a check-in call. Hey, how's it going? Are you staying on track? That's what I do with my 3-month coaching programs. So we get out there, we have a tangible goal. Maybe it's that you're going to make a meetup group, right? At the end of the 3 months. Or maybe it's that you're going to have hosted a meal at your work, a vegan meal. Whatever it is, we're going to get it done. And we're every week we're working on these goals to get there and the new mindset to get over these limiting beliefs, to send those beliefs love, to understand why we had them with compassion and grace, to give love to our feelings, and then to see what the real story is, the greater story in this world. How you can live in alignment with that greater story of your purpose.
That is beautiful. So, where does everybody find more information about your coaching program, your Facebook group, how to contact you for information, collaboration, questions, comments? What are the best ways for people to contact you and get more information, please?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Mariquita Solis, and my group is Empowered Vegans. Empowered Vegans. Now I've forgotten the name of
I think it's
um,
isn't it is it vegan empowerment or
Empowered Vegan. Um,
empowered vegans?
yes, and then Voices of Strength for Mother Earth. I was forgetting the
Yeah.
voices of strength. I wanted to, share that, feel that power and the impact of the connectedness. So find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel. So the live streams are every Thursday at 1. They're coming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and in my group. So reach out to me for just a clarity call to see what's blocking you. Just find out what's the block, what needs to be done. And if you want to work with me, that's great. If not, there are resources that you can take, other people that would help you, but I don't want you to be home alone, sad and depressed and angry. I want you to live the best life possible. So you are the radiant attraction for the non-vegans, right? I want you to be the attractant for this planet's sake.
That's beautiful. And if the viewers are on Instagram, I know in your Instagram profile you also have the link directly over to your Facebook group.
Right. Yes. I'm not on Instagram that much, but definitely there you can find me. There is information there. My email, my website is mariquitasolis.com. So I'm there too. I'm sure you Google my name and you'll find me.
There we go. All right. So before I leave, I want to thank everybody who joined either live or on the replay. Um, we have a hi sunshine there. There we go. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. And I want to ask you, Mariquita, well, first I want to thank you so much for this really valuable and very empowering conversation. I've taken a lot, and I have a couple of to-dos after this to dig a little bit deeper into what you shared with us today. And I thank you so much for sharing all of those resources you shared, like YouTube videos, and of course the articles and all the posts in your Facebook group that I'm going to catch up with. So I do want to thank you so very much, Mariquita. And I want to thank Jeff, who connected us. So if Jeff is watching this at any point, Jeff, thank you so much as well. And so, Mariquita, I will just ask you if there's anything you want to share with us to just wrap this up and put a bow on it for us, please.
Well, I want to thank you, Angel, and everyone else that's watching. I see Ann. Thanks for watching. And I just want to share, just stay in that heart space, send that, be in that energy of pure vegan light. When you get up in the morning, say, I'm going to be a magnificent vegan light for the world. So that's what I would do it. And think about us and how we're rooting for you, right? We're on your team. You're not alone. We love you all.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much there for that beautiful comment. Thank you so much. Well, you're awesome too. You're awesome too there. And so thank you so much. So yes, so Mariquita, that was beautiful. So I'm going to save this to Instagram Live, my feed and stories. And I'm also going to, do my best to upload it on some other platforms. I agree, Beacon for the World. Keep shining, girls. Well, you keep shining too. Thank you so much for your great energy there. Thank you for your light. I love that. And then I'm going to message you after, Mariquita. And yes, again, thank you so much. And thanks everybody who joined. And take good care, everybody. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Take good care. Bye, Mariquita. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.